Can you tell us about a brief history of Lanco?
So Lanco started in 1990, so we've been around for a while. So we're not a new company. One of the first projects of Lanco was the Punto Fuego series of terrazas in Peninsula de Punto Fuego.
In Nasubu.
Yeah, in Nasubu. One thing I'm proud about, the heritage of Lanco is when they started developing that area, there was literally nothing in that area. Okay. It was like kilometers and kilometers of rough roads, and there was nothing there. Lanco invented that whole niche in the market. No? Well, you have a club inside a subdivision by the sea. There was nothing like it. There was nothing like it. So Lanco is really, when it comes to leisure products, it's a pioneer. It has this pioneering DNA that, the proof of the pudding is the actual projects. We're quite proud of our heritage.
I didn't know that they started even before the bigger players.
Yeah, we've been around for a while. Huh? We're like a year and a half younger than Ayala Land. So this is an old company. And if you talk about the big developers right now, they came in like decades after. We've been around for a while.
How would you describe Lanco today under your management?
It's not lip service, but it's a dynamic organization wherein people can freely express their ideas. It's a dynamic company, which later on I'll show you when we walk around this development. This is a product of all the brainstorming with the team, and the bright minds in Lanco have their inputs in what we develop here. We're a young, nimble, dynamic company who focus on leisure products, and that's all we've done, since our founding. If you look at Lanco, wherever we are one of the best, if not the best development in that area. For example, I go to Quezon. The Forbes Park in that area is Hacienda Escudero. I mean, no doubt, hands down, that is the best development in that whole province. You go to Batangas or Nasubu, the Punto Fuego series of terrazas in Peninsula. That is the best development in that area in Nasubu. In Laia, it's Club Laia, Playa Laia. In Calatagan, it's Playa Calatagan and CaSoBe. Wherever we are the best development there, and that's something we really take pride in. Yeah. So we don't do vanilla stuff.
How about the company culture? How would you describe it?
It's a very open culture. I was saying a healthy culture is if you could tell the boss that he's wrong without any fear of retribution. My open door policy is not just lip service. Literally anyone can come to my, even the messengers come to my office. Sometimes they have ideas to share. So it's a very open organization. It's a very dynamic. So these new ideas, which I'll show you in a while, really come from this culture. Because, Rick, the most important aspect of a company's success is really the corporate culture. More than strategy, it's a corporate culture. I've known so many bright people who cannot bloom under a wrong culture. So it is very important that you have all of these bright minds, that they are able to blossom under the culture, and that culture should be a very open to suggestions culture. It shouldn't be this is my territory, don't fuck with it. No, it has to be like, this is everyone's problem, let's all solve it. A success is everyone's success, a failure is everyone's failure. So that's a culture we have, and that's not lip service. We're actually living that culture right now.
How would you describe the uniqueness of Lanco? How does it differ from other developers?
For Lanco, we've been focused really on leisure products, and that's all we've ever done. If you talk about a company, like for example, like KFC, all they do is chicken. I mean, we are really experts in this field, and one advantage that we have, for example, we have a project like the Punto Fuego that started out in '95. We have seen that community has developed over time. So now our new projects, we've anticipated, 25, 30, 50 years from now, what it's going to need. And we've factored that into our development designs, which later I'll explain to you when we walk around the site. Why should they invest in Landco? As I mentioned, we've been around for a while. We're a 31-year-old company. Proof of the pudding's in the eating. No? So basically, what have our projects been up to the past 31 years? If you look at yung Peninsula de Punta Fuego, that was launched in the mid-90s at around 4,000 pesos per square. No? During the pandemic, the last sale I remember was already about 60,000 plus per square meter.
Okay.
From 4,000 to 60,000. So, the best judge of your success is really history. Diba? That is the best judge if you were successful or not. So, if you look back now, so we have a project that launched at 4,000 per square. It's up at 60 million. I mean, that is proof that this is a good concept that people actually want. So, why invest in Lanco property? Look at our track record. All of our projects have appreciated significantly. The most are the beach town projects. The beachfront projects, Peninsula de Punta Fuego, that has appreciated 1,200% in 25 years. So, okay, that's why you want to buy a Lanco property. We have the heritage, we have the know-how. This is all we've done for the past 3 decades. We're experts in this field. Okay, and then what makes it different? We need to walk around. I need to explain it to you as we walk around.
Okay.
Why we did it this way.
How would you envision CaSoBe and Club Laia 20 years from now?
I've seen this thing maybe 50 years from now. Imagine Boracay without the traffic, and you're driving distance away from Manila. Once all the highways are completed, this would be on a bad day would be 2.5 hours away from Makati. On a bad day, once all the highways are completed. So 50 years from now, I could imagine here, condos up, everybody enjoying, the beach. Property owners here could Airbnb their properties. No? I imagine maybe at least 50 years from now, 500 to 1,000% appreciation in the property. One thing about Lanco, for example, here in Calatagan, this used to be the playground of the rich.
Right.
Yeah. This is the playground of the rich. It has this vibe, this laid-back vibe. The owners who would live here because of that vibe, because of that laid-back vibe. So I could see this as a fully built-up community, with their own visitors, with Airbnbs, and without the traffic, and then all of the utilities that you needed, the Wi-Fi, the sewage, the drainage, the water, that's all been planned for. We've planned for this thing for full development 50 years into the future. On the details, I need to walk you through the site. We're quite proud of what
Okay.
Let's walk around the site. So, if you look around, this whole thing's a construction site right now. We're scheduled to finish middle of 2023, so that's fully built 100%. The whole site is just 15 hectares. Now, what makes this development, CaSoBe, and eventually Club Laia, which is basically the same size, what makes it different from any other development? Firstly, you say a beachfront development, no? I mean, what other beachfront developments could you name that you don't have to drive going to the beach, no? This one, the farthest one, you could literally walk to the beach. Okay. So that's the first difference. So this is literally a beachfront development wherein the farthest lot from the beach can literally walk to the beach. Next is, what makes a development different? No, okay, look at the site. You notice the blue roads. They're not painted blue. If you could see, they're blue to the core. No? They are blue through and through. No? So these are really blue roads. Now, why did we do that? I'm actually one of those people. For example, me, I would go to Boracay maybe for a week. I would never swim in the beach once. I would swim in the swimming pool. I'm that type. So there are people like me, who just likes looking at it because look at the beach. It's very relaxing. The blue is very relaxing. And so I remember a global survey, in 2015, that there are, out of thousands of colors, the most popular color in the world. Out of thousands, 25% of people around the globe have blue as their favorite color. Now, why is that? Maybe because it's the color of the sky. It's the color of the sky. It's the color of the sea. It's a very calming, it's a serene, it's a relaxing color. So what we're trying to do is, okay, for those lots at the very end, once this is fully developed, you don't have a view of the sea. But we wanted to bring that calming color all the way into the development. So that's why the roads are blue. And we don't want them to be fake blue, no, painted on. We want them to be really blue. Okay, now imagine you're in one of the back lots, no? So you're gonna be walking to the beach. All right, how do you walk, diba? You know, sometimes most of the people, they just walk this way. You know, you're looking at the ground. This is something that you look at. So look at our sidewalks now. This is going to be the same sidewalk all throughout the development. You know, these aren't cheap. These aren't cheap to build, but we know the clients will look at it. So that's why, you know, we wanted it to be special. So it's a special design sidewalk all throughout the development. Yeah, you know, we spent money on it because we know the clients are going to look at it. Okay, look at the lampposts. No, these don't just provide light at night. No, they have like accent colors so that even at night, if you want to take a walk, you'd enjoy walking. No? And you know, some of our efforts, if you look at it, no, they're not just straight lamppost. You know, it looks like a whale carcass. No, so it has that same nautical theme. No. So we wanted it to be different. Now look at our manhole covers. It's the same all throughout the property. It's not just it's a necessity. It's a drainage manhole, but we know the clients are going to look at it. So we made it special, and basically that is the difference of Lanco. I mean, we know that you're going to look at these things. We know that you're going to appreciate it. So we spent time and money, you know, creating these things. All right. So what else? What else is different? I think it's our deed of restrictions. For example, me, if I'm gonna buy an expensive property by the beach, you know, I don't want you to meddle in how I want to build my dream house. I want it to be my own architecture. Now, some of the developments, they restrict your architecture to a certain theme. But here, no, build your dream house. No, we know it's your dream house. You've spent the money for it, you know, so build it the way you want. So we have some restrictions basically on the setbacks, of course also on the price of the investment, but you know, architecture wise, you know, you do you. Okay. Next is the deed of restrictions on residential and commercial use. Okay, it's primarily residential because, you know, if you live by the beach, the primary concern is you want to be close to the beach. You want to live here and then, you know, enjoy the beach and the amenities. Now, take a look into history. For example, we grew up in BF, Paranaque. In BF, the deed of restrictions, that whole Aguirre Avenue is supposed to be residential. You know, commercial development is not allowed along Aguirre Avenue. Pero look, it is almost all commercial now. So all of those are basically illegal, no? But they are there because there is really a need. People need that commercial development. That's just one example of Paranaque. If you look at Makati Central Business District, officially the deed of restrictions there is that on the ground floor, you cannot have food retail except in the Glorieta and Greenbelt area. So every food retail on the ground floor that you see in Legazpi and Salcedo Village are actually illegal. But you know, they just look the other way because it is an actual need. The way that we wrote up the deed of restrictions is that, you know, we were looking 50 years from now. Right now, you just may need a house. So put up your house. But we know, you know, 50 years down the road, you know, maybe even 30 years down, there's going to be some need for retail, and probably you as a lot owner, you see the opportunity. So then now you could put up your own, you know, coffee shop or even your own office, you know. So we've factored that into the deed of restrictions. You could put up a beach house and then eventually pass it on to the next generation, and they could put up an office or a coffee shop or a hostel, you know. All right, another difference is, okay, if you look at the Crusoe cabins, you know, we're quite proud of this development. So basically, Landco, you know, and its affiliate, we already run a hotel service. You know? So the idea here is that, you know, if you're a lot owner, whatever services that are provided in these cabins or in those cocoons, you know, we could also provide to the residents of the community. So we're not talking about room service, we're talking about house service. So we're already, as we speak, no, we're already putting up this app. We call it the Millie app, Millie for Millennial Resorts, no? So we're putting up the Millie app wherein you could order anything you want from your app, and that would be available to all of the residents here in CaSoBe. And imagine, okay, this is like 15 hectares. This is basically the size of like Shangri-La Mactan, this whole thing. There are only 100 lots here for sale, no? So literally, if you buy here and live here, you are literally living inside the resort. That is the pitch, diba? You are living inside a resort, diba? Where all of, you know, if you stay in a crystal cabin, whatever the services offered there, it's offered to your house. You know, laundry, food services, you know, reserve a conference room or a convention tent. So that's how we're different. And okay, and then just look around you. We've put in a lot of thought and effort on the things that the clients would see and touch. And we're quite proud of what we've accomplished here, and it will be the same in Club Laia. For example, in Club Laia, I mean, one of the plans there, man, we're gonna have like a kick-ass 300-meter long pool. You know? So that's and that's also roughly the same size. No? So these are like bite-sized developments that are really exclusive. So they're literally resort-sized developments. So yeah, you're basically buying into the lifestyle of living inside a resort. So that's what Landco's doing.